Kia ora, folks. Welcome to the Woo Woo podcast. The fucking Woo Woo podcast. My name's Tommy. I'm a therapist. I'm a counselor. I'm a therapist. I'm a parent. I'm a musician. I do this podcast because, like a lot of you guys, I struggle with life, and people say that they quite like some of the solutions I come up with. This is episode 5. I've just spent the last hour, must be an hour and a half or whatever, looking at the first 4 episodes and writing down some of the themes or some of the things that they're about. And I had to do that because, as I've said repeatedly in these podcasts, I'm going through a period of insomnia. I really can't remember what I've talked about, and I was worried because I haven't recorded one of these for a few days that I would just start repeating the same shit I've already told you. And I've covered a lot in those 4 brief episodes. There were some stories I was planning on telling you this morning, but I can't do it anymore because I've already told you last time. Hey, I was going to talk about self-consciousness a little bit today. And the reason for that is that I'm really self-conscious about these freestyles, and I just wanted to share about that. And some of you might say, oh, he's been fucking falsely modest because the freestyles are really good and not many people can freestyle, improvise lyrics like that. And I appreciate that. If people are thinking that, I appreciate it. And some of you might be going, those freestyles are a piece of shit. You should be self-conscious. I don't know how people are going to respond, but the point I'm trying to make, I'm not trying to say, like a little kid, like, oh, my painting's terrible, eh? I made my picture's terrible, eh? You know what I mean? Like, I ain't trying to say that. Like, the podcast, the freestyles are fine. I'm not trying to get you to say, oh no, your picture's beautiful, Tommy. Oh, you did such a good job, baby. No, it's just that, like, I just think it's a good example, right? Because I'm self-conscious right now. Because I looked at those 4 podcasts, and I'll be honest with you guys, and this is terrible. People shouldn't say this shit, but I looked at those 4 podcasts and I loved them. Like, I really love them. And probably I'm a little bit, we all got narcissistic traits, might be a little bit arrogant or something, but, like, I felt really proud of them. In fact, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not arrogant. I'm not arrogant. I have flaws. I'm selfish. I can be needy. I'm really not arrogant. I'm confident, but I'm not arrogant. In my opinion, in my estimation of myself, like, I'll own my shit. I'll totally, I can accept that I have a lot of character flaws, but arrogance has not been one of them, in my personal opinion. Hubris at times, perhaps an overestimated sense of what I can tolerate in terms of pain, in terms of how much I can give. And I'm not trying to be fucking humble bragging when I say that, but I have taken on I have taken on supporting in far greater levels than what I was actually competent to support, and have as a result of that have had to have found myself wounded. Have found myself wounded, and have found myself needing to apologize and repair, because some of the people who I was supporting, I wasn't able to adequately support. And I like to think I've learnt from that, and I'm a lot more careful with what I commit to nowadays, so that I can do a proper job of taking care of others. But that probably comes from some like Irish Catholic thing about self-sacrificing, rather than from some arrogance of thinking I'm the man. So I'm self-conscious just in this moment, because now I feel like I've got these cool podcasts that I really liked, and now I have to live up and have to do one that's equally interesting or inspiring or funny or touching or whatever it is that you, however people found the other podcast. So self-consciousness for me, like, if I was to tell you how I'm experiencing it in that one part of me is talking to you, one part of me is communicating to you actively, and in the background there's another part of me which has doubting messages. This is not interesting, this is not funny, you're not getting to the point fast enough, people are going to tune out and find this boring, this is not useful, people don't want to listen to you talking in real time about the self-conscious thoughts you're having in your mind. So that's one example of self-consciousness. Now, I want to be clear, that's that's not my internal narrative most of the time. My internal narrative most of the time, and this is something I've cultivated throughout my life, my internal narrative is really positive. I'm very lucky in this way. And one of the things I do with my clients is I try and find out and understand what their internal narrative is like. Like, I'm constantly telling myself, I love you, Tommy. Everything's going to be okay. If you make a mistake, I totally forgive you for it. Just show up and make amends for it. You know what I mean? Like, my internal narrative is very generous and kind to myself. But when I get self-conscious, that's kind of a distinct state for me. And when I'm self-conscious, that's when these doubting things come in. And what I'm finding with these freestyles at the end of these podcasts is that they've actually turned out fine. I'm not embarrassed by any of them at all. But I am aware they are not at, this is going to sound arrogant after I've just told you guys how not arrogant I am. They are not at the high standard I would like them to be. So I have thousands of recordings on my phone and like devices from back in the fucking 2000s. You guys remember mini disc players? Anyone remember a mini disc? There used to be these mini disc players, and I got one with a recording function, and I recorded, I mean, I'm talking literally thousands of freestyles on these devices over the years. And some of those freestyles are exquisite. Like, there's a song, you can check out this on Spotify. If you go onto Spotify and go Tommy and the Fallen Horses, there's a song called Long Dark Blues, which I named after Jason Molina. And I should have told you in that other episode about Jason Molina. Jason Molina's bands are called Songs Ohia, Jason Molina, and Magnolia Electric Company. And I named my daughter Magnolia after Jason Molina. And my boy Shiloh is named after a Jason Molina song. So why was I talking about Jason Molina? Still haven't totally caught up on the sleep yet. I'm kind of, I feel like sleep's getting a little bit better, but my memory's still not that great. That song Long Dark Blues on Tommy and the Fallen Horses album Openhearts, that song Long Dark Blues was basically a whole freestyle. I think I still have the recording of the freestyle, and I have edited a few words, 1 or 2 lines and a few words, but basically that, it's like an 8-minute song. I think it's got 5 verses. That came out as a pure freestyle. My friend was in the spa bath with this girl, and I was sitting on the side of the spa bath with my guitar, and I pushed record on my phone, and that song came out exactly as it is. And I'm very proud of that song, and obviously it was good enough that it was one of the songs I put on an album. But I have these freestyles that are, in my personal opinion, really amazing songs, and then doing a freestyle in front of people, like doing a freestyle live when no one's recording it, is sweet. A lot of my live freestyles are fucking awesome. But as soon as I've got this camera on me and I think I'm going to send this to an audience, even if it's only 10 of my mates, I immediately have the self-consciousness come on. So while I'm singing and while I'm playing these freestyles from this podcast, I'm not in the same flow state. I am second guessing myself. Thoughts are coming in like, what's the next word going to be? And what's the next line going to be? Is this going to rhyme? And so I can see my mind going for safe lines. And I haven't done much hip hop. Like, I've done sort of slightly reggae-ish hip hop stuff on 1 or 2 of the songs, but I haven't done my full-on flow hip hop. Like, I can feel inside myself this anxiety and nervousness, and that those doubtful thoughts are coming in. The ironic thing about freestyling is that in order to freestyle properly, it's not coming from a place of people say, oh, you must be so nervous freestyling. It's the opposite. If I'm nervous, I probably won't do freestyles. Like, if I'm playing a gig and I get really self-conscious, I won't do any freestyles. Normally when I perform live, whether it's solo or with my band, I should plug them. My current band is called the Midnight Sun, Tommy and the Midnight Sun. If I'm playing live with my band and I get self-conscious, I won't do freestyles. If I'm nervous or for some reason like my energy's like I'm just off, I won't do any freestyles. But normally when I play live, about 50% of what I do, including the choruses and the singing, not just rapping, but 50% of the songs will be improvised. Even if I'm playing an old song from the past, I will add like 1 or 2 new verses to it, or a whole new bridge or chorus or whatever. I love improvising. It's one of my favorite things to do. But I can't do it when I'm nervous and when I'm self-conscious. It's the opposite. I need to be in a state of a flow state. So I didn't really know what a flow state means, and I know that when people meditate and stuff, they can measure brain waves and stuff, and they say we get into these different brain states. I don't know if this correlates with that or not, but for me, when I'm freestyling at my best, I have abandoned all self-consciousness and nervousness, and I am completely present. I'm completely present in the present moment. And I'm fearless. I'm absolutely fearless. And I haven't been able to get into that state in these freestyles yet. So, practicing doing it in front of a camera, maybe by the time I get to some freestyle later on down the track, I will achieve that. So I just wanted to talk about that, and now I've done that. And to be honest, I don't have much else to say today, except to let those of you know who are my friends, because again, I don't have an audience beyond any friends, I can't imagine, to let you guys know that we are now at week. We're nearly at 4.5 weeks. At 4.5 weeks, I have had some average night's sleep in the last few days, and it feels like we're on a positive trajectory. So anyone who was worried about me having a nervous breakdown because of insomnia, please rest assured I'm sleeping a lot better now. So I'm going to just do a freestyle now. We'll make this a shorter one, get back to the 15-minute mark, which was my original. Fucking guess what, guys? I'm going to tell you some shit. Okay, this is boring as fuck. This is a technical thing, but I've just got to share it with someone, right? I found out that my video clips, when I go over 17 minutes, I get to 17 minutes and then it turns into a second clip. This fucking camera turns into a second clip. And I don't know how on YouTube to merge them together. So before I can even release this podcast, because I haven't released it yet, I'm going to have to work out how to fucking edit the two clips together. So I'm going to try and keep this one under 17 minutes so I don't have to, in case that's a hard process, so I don't have to do that. But I don't think I'm going to be able to keep all of them under 17 minutes. So that's just something I'm working on at the moment. You probably found that boring as shit, that last little tidbit. You probably think you should just got to the fucking song, bro. Okay, so self-conscious freestyle number 5. They're the chords I always go to. Oh fuck, you wouldn't believe it. This is out of tune, guys. And I'm not very good at tuning. And now, like, I've been a musician for 20 years and I have to show you on camera how bad at tuning I am. It was a self-conscious moment. Yeah. Here we are, son. Here we are, son. Yeah, here we are in the dojo with the melancholia coming to my head. I can't feel what I'm trying to say next. Self-consciousness got me perplexed. I'm vexed, panic in my chest, shortness of breath, real depressed. Yeah. I break through from my mind now, singing the sound now. I gotta get aligned in my heart, my spine now. Feet are wide, we're starting to climb now. Coming up into the base where we're Messiah. Get the chakra shining like Messiah. Get a state of my sign, I'm a prayer. Like it take your time and then the Messiah coming to me now when they're getting real higher. Wanna get this line, wanna write this rhyme, wanna take this time, wanna read your mind. I wanna get inside, I wanna make it fine. I wanna get alive, like a spiritual sign. I'm a Scorpio, damn I'm a Libra. Aries rising, I'ma come in the heaver. Get you higher, through the speaker. I'ma take this, yo, I'ma meet you in Zion. I'ma take this line to it flying. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, get me higher. I'ma take this mind, I'm a Ryan, breaking open. Now I'm talking to you, Brian. Cook the meth, they put it in your chest. Get a little bit higher, now you obsessed. Take it down to the spiritual depth. And I'ma take these lines like a spiritual depth. I got nothing left, I'ma make this mine, I'ma shine it. I'ma take this time like I was whining, taking back, holding that, making up words like I'm lost in fact. And it's taking time, cause I'm taking down, real self-conscious now. Yo, I can hardly get it out what I'm spinning about. Hold these hands up, hold these hands up, yeah. Hold these hands up. I had enough, I'ma hold these hands up. I'ma hold these hands up. I'ma hold these hands up, yeah. I had enough, yeah. I had enough, yeah. They say the first will be last, the test will be passed. I can hand this baton on to my man here, showing me the rhyme when he stand, showing me the pride when we damn. I'ma give this life like I can. I'ma do my best, I'ma take this, man. Bless these lands, walk these lands like angels until I can't understand. The truth inside. Hold my pride, my third eye closed like Zion. Blinded me with light inside the night. Couldn't find what I was seeking inside. It's a tragedy, I can't find what I found. Consumed by self-conscious thoughts in my mind, and I can't get a line. So I'm hold these hands up, yeah. I had enough, so I'ma hold my hands up. Yeah, I'ma hold my hands up. With the self-conscious stuff, I've had enough. You know I had to fuck enough, son. That was one of the most self-conscious raps I've done. If you listen to that, I'll just be honest, if you listen to that, you will find so many words that aren't even real words, and rhymes where I use the same word to rhyme with the same word, which in my opinion, I'm pretty sure that's not a rhyme. But again, you know, I bet I would listen back to that and I would go, hey, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. But in that moment where I was thinking, can I and I didn't think I was even, some of the theme of that was like transcending self-consciousness, but not being able to transcend self-consciousness. Here's the thing, man. This is the curse of a human life, okay? This is the curse of a human life. There's some things you can't change. There's some things you can't change. And there's some things you can change, but you can't change them in that moment. The pain of not being able to change something in the moment that you wish to change it. Coming to terms with that death, that grief, that deprivation, that longing. In this moment, I want something to be different and I can't make it different. I think that's something we all have in common, right? I think that's something we all share. But life is fucking beautiful. And that moment doesn't last forever. There's another moment coming right after it. I love you guys.